Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel, Sonic Love. So in today's video, I am super excited to showcase today the RG34XX. Now, I think Anbernic have been brazen here and produced a absolute masterpiece with the Game Boy Advance in the XX range, and we already had the SP, which was fantastic, the flip. The only thing that I didn't like about that unit itself was the controls. The buttons and the D-pad are the worst Anbernic have produced. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for that, but yeah, they were just terrible, and they were, in my eyes, the more I played it, the worse it felt, and I just ended up not playing it anymore because of just how bad the buttons and the controls were. Let's see if Anbernic have redeemed themselves with producing another iconic handheld in the XX range, and yeah, let's see what it's all about. So I absolutely love the packaging and design that they've gone with. It just looks absolutely incredible. I love the very bold text of the RG34XX, and I certainly love the Game Boy Advance of just how vibrant it looks on the packaging. This was sent over to me by LITNXT, which is a fantastic company. So if you wish to purchase one from them, use the code Sonic10 and you will get a discount. It also comes with a 128 SD card, which is always nice. I'm sure it'll be ram-packed with lots of goodies for those that are looking for pick up and play experience. Oh, look at that. That is absolutely delicious. I hope that's coming across. The indigo colour is the one I went with. You can get transparent green, red. They have just done a glacier one, which looks really nice, all white, see-through. But yeah, this is absolutely delicious. Let's get this up. Wow. They're absolutely incredible. The D-pad is quite small, but I think that it's a carbon copy of what it was on the original. But it feels very, very nice. Anbernic normally do have great D-pads, apart from the SP. I love the fact that they've gone with the camouflage buttons with the shell itself. The buttons are chunky on the bottom, a little bit smaller on the top. It does have a mono speaker, start select, power button underneath. On the bottom of the unit we have our volume. It's like a switch that slides left and right, which is a nice touch. Headphones, we do have like a battery pack style, which is from like the original, but obviously it will have a lithium battery in there. Very, very nice indeed. The actual design is an absolute one-to-one copy. Even the bumpers, we have a power button on the bottom. Let's flip it round. Now this is where it gets interesting. Where the old cartridge used to go, they have the SD card 1 and 2. We have triggers, very nicely placed. I'm sure that they'll be resting quite nice with the fingers when you hold it. They feel very nice indeed. The R1 and L1 feel lovely. So we have our function key button. We do have HDMI out, OTG, and also power. And we also have a reset button. Yeah, really nice. I love the style and feel of this. So overall, in the hand, it feels really nice. It's definitely a chunky boy, that's for sure, but yeah, it feels comfortable. You can distinguish the triggers and the bumpers very easily. It fits very nice and comfortable in the hand. It does have a 3x2 screen, so what I will do now is I will leave some specifications here as always. But yeah, my overall first impressions, they've absolutely nailed this, obviously, because it's just a one-to-one copy of the original Game Boy Advance. The beauty of this, though, with it being the XX range, you can play up to Dreamcast, PS1, all the retro systems. It even does ports very well, so that's a bonus. And with it not having a analog, if you're worried, then a simple press of the power button and it will transfer the D-pad into a analog. So all those games that need analog, yes, there will be some games like for N64 which doesn't have a C-stick, which you won't be able to play, but it's a small sacrifice. But primarily, for me personally, I will be playing just solely Game Boy Advance games on here. So if you're not familiar with the XX range, there has been an absolute shed loads of them, so I'm sure you are, that we have our basic menu that we have. We have an annoying sound, which you can turn off in the settings, but we will have a game launcher. These will be your separate individual emulators, but in my experience, I find that using RetroArch is more suited and better suited. So with the new updates, you can go down the list instead of going all the way to the right now. So you can go all the way across the menu options, which is really nice. But the amount of games that are playable on here is, yeah, incredible. The screen itself is very, very nice. 3:2 aspect ratio is my favorite of all time. I think that it just minimalizes the amount of borders on each separate system, like 16:9, 4:3. You just have the most minimal amount of borders, which is really, really nice. So for multiple different systems, it's always the best to have 3:2, in my opinion. Love to know your thoughts on that. What's your best aspect ratio of a screen? The menu is really, really easy to navigate. I think the XX range is probably Anbernic's best OS. It's just simple, easy to use, especially for newcomers. But again, with the XX range, there's going to be multiple different custom firmwares, which is always a bonus and a plus. But so far, I'm absolutely loving it. So I'm going to kick things off with some PSP. Bright enough, but it still feels just a little bit dim. A little bit brighter would be better. But PSP, you'll have no issues with. Some games, the harder to run games, you will have to use frame skip, but there still are plenty of games that play really, really well. But the screen is definitely colourful. You'll have no issues with PlayStation 1. Buttons feel really nice and responsive. They feel quite firm, but in a good way. Don't know if I mentioned it already, but with it being a mono speaker, it still sounds pretty good. D-pad feels really nice. Even though it's smaller, it's still remarkably accurate. Nintendo DS plays really well. You can swap the screens and orientation with the triggers on the back. Obviously, it's not touchscreen, so you will have issues with any games that require touchscreen. N64 works surprisingly well on here as well.
Welcome to Sunny Beach. Get ready for the first race. 3, 2, 1, go!
As you can see, I can't control the rider, so I quickly press the power button and it will swap it over to analog stick and makes it playable. Dreamcast plays surprisingly well.
It's time to make some crazy money. Are you ready? Here we go.
Taxi!
It's showtime.
Go to the department store.
Let's fly.
Hey, taxi! Hey, Catman! Go straight.
Roger.
Move!
Time bonus.
We'll both have a good day.
Yo, wait up.
Taxi!
Get in.
You're great! Go to the jewelry
Got
shop.
it. Let's go.
All your arcade, Atomic Wave and Naomi will work well. Your 8-bit and 16-bit will look great. It all goes to the correct aspect ratio for SNES. You can swap it out and stretch it out if you want to. But for fighting games, the D-pad works really well. So what's also nice with the XX range is ports. Ports works really, really well. So even though I think that the screen is a little bit dim, it certainly doesn't take away from the fact that it's an actual good screen. The colours and saturation are really top notch. Very detailed. And the more I'm playing it, the controls are absolutely fantastic. It's incredibly comfortable in the hand. So I think my first impressions is this is absolutely incredible. I think I'll definitely be using this just to take with me on the go because it's pocketable. It looks great and I'm sure it's going to be a head turner and lots of people are going to ask you about it. So if you've been on the fence about buying one, I highly recommend it. And you may as well get it from LITNXT because you'll get a discount code as well. Use Sonic10. Link will be in the description. But yeah, really, really good. But now for the star of the show, and what I think this has been purposely made for, which is Game Boy Advance. Now, this is what I'm going to be primarily going to be playing. It's all my favourite Game Boy Advance game, and there are a lot of games that are unbelievable on here. More games than you could possibly play in a lifetime. And I just can't wait to dive in. Basically, it goes up to 3x resolution. As you can see, the colours really pop and stand out, and it just looks fantastic. And it really does make you feel that you're playing on an original. OG Game Boy Advance. So, love to know, guys, what your thoughts and feelings are about this. Did you pick one up? Were you on the fence? Will you be getting one? What colour would you get? Would you get that new Glacier one, which looks absolutely amazing? I may have to order one. I can't wait to absolutely sink a few hours into Minish Cap, one of my favourite Zelda games. And it looks absolutely delicious on here. I tell you what, if I had Zelda knocking on my door, I wouldn't let her in. I wouldn't even open the door. You just know that she's going to set you off on an adventure of doom and gloom. She's definitely not the type of person you want to hang around with, is she? Let's go and ruin your life and put you into so much danger. Yeah, this is absolutely amazing. Right, guys, I'm going to leave it there for the unboxing and first impressions. I absolutely love this thing. Look at it. You only have to look at it just to admire just how amazing it is. And the fact that it plays so well, is comfortable. It's a one-to-one carbon copy of the original Game Boy Advance. What more could you ask for? This is a no-brainer in my opinion. I think it's absolutely amazing. I'm so glad that Anbernic have produced this, because yeah, it's brought so much nostalgia back to me, and I can't suggest it enough. Even if you do have a more powerful device, there's nothing quite like this out there. This is amazing. Love to know what you think, guys, and as always, take care.